Start. MTC. Day 04, Number 1. From the earliest times, healthcare services have been recognized to have two equal aspects, namely clinical care and public health care. In classical Greek mythology, the god of medicine, Asclepios, had two daughters, Hygeia and Panacea. The former was the goddess of preventive health and wellness, or hygiene, and the latter the goddess of treatment and curing. In modern times, the societal ascendancy of medical professionalism has caused treatment of sick patients to overshadow those preventive healthcare services provided by the less heroic figures of sanitary engineers, biologists, and governmental public health officers. Nevertheless, the quality of health that human populations enjoy is attributable less to surgical dexterity, innovative pharmaceutical products, and bioengineered devices than to the availability of public sanitation, sewage management, and services which control the pollution of the air, drinking water, urban noise, and food for human consumption. The human right to the highest attainable standard of health depends on public healthcare services no less than on the skills and equipment of doctors in hospitals. MTC. Good job. Let's start. MTC. Day 04, Number 2. There are several reasons why support may not be effective. One possible reason is that receiving help could be a blow to self-esteem. A recent study by Christopher Burke and Jessica Gorin at Lehigh University examined this possibility. Lehigh Christopher Burke Jessica Gorin. According to the threat to self-esteem model, help can be perceived as supportive and loving, or it can be seen as threatening if that help is interpreted as implying incompetence. According to Burke and Gorin, support is especially likely to be seen as threatening if it is in an area that is self-relevant or self-defining, that is, in an area where your own success and achievement are especially important. Burke Gorin. Receiving help with a self-relevant task can make you feel bad about yourself, and this can undermine the potential positive effects of the help. For example, if your self-concept rests, in part, on your great cooking ability, it may be a blow to your ego when a friend helps you prepare a meal for guests because it suggests that you're not the master chef you thought you were. MTC. Good job. Let's start. MTC. Day 04, Number 3. One benefit of reasons and arguments is that they can foster humility. If two people disagree without arguing, all they do is yell at each other. No progress is made. Both still think that they are right. In contrast, if both sides give arguments that articulate reasons for their positions, then new possibilities open up. One of the arguments gets refuted, that is, it is shown to fail. In that case, the person who depended on the refuted argument learns that he needs to change his view. That is one way to achieve humility on one side at least. Another possibility is that neither argument is refuted. Both have a degree of reason on their side. Even if neither person involved is convinced by the other's argument, both can still come to appreciate the opposing view. They also realize that, even if they have some truth, they do not have the whole truth. They can gain humility when they recognize and appreciate the reasons against their own view. MTC. Good job. Let's start. MTC. Day 04, Number 4. Adam Smith pointed out that specialization, where each of us focuses on one specific skill, leads to a general improvement of everybody's well-being. Adam Smith. The idea is simple and powerful. By specializing in just one activity such as food raising, clothing production, or home construction, each worker gains mastery over the particular activity. Specialization makes sense, however, only if the specialist can subsequently trade his or her output with the output of specialists in other lines of activity. It would make no sense to produce more food than a household needs unless there is a market outlet to exchange that excess food for clothing, shelter, and so forth. At the same time, without the ability to buy food on the market, it would not be possible to be a specialist home builder or clothing maker, since it would be necessary to farm for one's own survival. Thus Smith realized that the division of labor is limited by the extent of the market, whereas the extent of the market is determined by the degree of specialization. Smith. MTC. Good job. Let's start. MTC. Day 04, number 56. The driver of FOMO, the fear of missing out, is the social pressure to be at the right place with the right people. Whether it's from a sense of duty or just trying to get ahead, we feel obligated to attend certain events for work, for family, and for friends. FOMO. This pressure from society combined with FOMO can wear us down. FOMO. According to a recent survey, 70% of employees admit that when they take a vacation, they still don't disconnect from work. 70%. Our digital habits, which include constantly checking emails and social media timelines, have become so firmly established, it is nearly impossible to simply enjoy the moment, along with the people with whom we are sharing these moments. JOMO, the joy of missing out, is the emotionally intelligent antidote to FOMO and is essentially about being present and being content with where you are at in life. JOMO, FOMO. You do not need to compare your life to others but instead, practice tuning out the background noise of the shoulds and wants and learn to let go of worrying whether you are doing something wrong. JOMO allows us to live life in the slow lane, to appreciate human connections, to be intentional with our time, to practice saying no, to give ourselves tech-free breaks, and to give ourselves permission to acknowledge where we are and to feel emotions. YOMO. Instead of constantly trying to keep up with the rest of society, JOMO allows us to be who we are in the present moment. YOMO. When you free up that competitive and anxious space in your brain, you have so much more time, energy, and emotion to conquer your true priorities. Day 5. MTC. Good job.